morning everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day. So my house is finally set up to how I want it to be. So I thought I'd finally do an apartment tour of my apartment in Yokohama. So let's get right into it. So here is the start of it. Here is the doorway. You can see a nice picture of my dad and Charlie there on the calendar. So this is my door. I've just got a calendar to put what's going on, obviously my payday, and I'm also marking going to the gym a lot more. So this is my start of making sure I go to the gym every day, or at least most days. I made this in my old place in Ehime, so I've put that on. It's a glass lot, but it's very cool. This keeps the bugs away. I think so far it's working. I haven't had many bugs in my apartment. And then this is my little desk, or my little countertop for when I come in. I put like papers, keys, everything here. I've got all my cute little plushies here. So that is very cute. I've also put some wall art of what I got in Ehime. So this is actually, I did the Shikoku 88 Henro in Ehime. I did actually film it, and it's been on my laptop for 3 years. And eventually I will edit it and put it on YouTube. But every time I open all the files, there's like 10 days worth of videos. And I'm just like, I keep closing it because I'm like, it's just going to take so much work. And that's why I always pull it to the side, because it's a lot of work. But one day, my Henro trip will go on YouTube. I don't know when, but one day. So be prepared for that. So one of the things I collected on the Henro, this is what I'm very proud of on this side here, because this is also from the Henro. Because at the time, I think they were celebrating 1,500 years of Henro. So every temple had a little card you could collect and then make this big piece of artwork at the end to show your journey, which, not gonna lie, I think it's really cool, because I also clocked the other day, this is actually in order, so they all go down from 1 to 8 for each one. So it kind of also shows the journey, especially because this is the last one here, which is like, congratulations, you finished it. And then I have the date for when I finished it. So I'm really proud of this piece of artwork here. So my Henro artwork is on the door. Obviously here is where you come in, put your shoes off, because in Japan, every home will have this little floor indent, which means you leave your shoes at the door, and then either put slippers on or be barefoot like me. But also what I like with this apartment a lot more, I like that it came with this little shoe box. So all my other shoes I put in here. I've also got some bags. You can also put like other bags and umbrellas. I have this cool umbrella I got in the Conveni recently. It's actually really cool because it's got a Pixel Pokemon on, so that's really cool. I look forward when it rains and I can show that off. So the entrance I like so much more in my new apartment, just because there's so much more space, which is really, really nice. Then moving on to the bathroom. So this is probably the only downgrade from my old apartment, because the toilet and the bathroom are together. Here is the bathtub, here is my sink, here is all my amenities, all my goods. And this is the only downside, because in Japan, they don't really like if the toilet and the bathroom is together. They find that like gross. But compared to the West, I don't really care, because you go to any place in the West, the toilet and the bathtub are together. So I haven't really got an issue that they're in the same room together at all. I think for me, the only slight issue with this one is it's a little bit small. It could do with being just a little bit bigger, but apart from that, it's absolutely fine. I can still have a bath, have a shower, I can still do all my stuff. So yeah, that's the only slightly pretty downgrade of this apartment, is the bathroom area is a little bit more smaller compared to my old one. But the other things I get in this apartment instead, I think it's definitely worth the sacrifice for that. This is the kitchen and washing room. I actually like this apartment, is so much more spacious than my old one. I like that cooking is a lot more easier. There's so much more space here to do things. Also, my washing machine can actually fit inside my apartment. As you can see, I've got some socks and t-shirts drying at the moment. Because my old apartment, the washing machine had to live outside on the balcony. Lost space on my balcony, so I couldn't do as much. I'm very happy that I have a washing machine on the inside. This is my little kitchen area. What's interesting with this apartment is the cooker is actually a HI cooker, so only certain items work on this machine, because I really struggled when I first moved in, because I was like, why is my thing not working? And it is because this is a Serling cooker that only accepts Serling pots and pans, and now I know. But first time, I never realised that's a thing out here, or a kind of type of cooker in general, that only certain what items will work on a cooker. Here's my little fridge. I got all my kind of magnets from my journey, all my life in Ehime. I've got the old Ehime mascot on. I have a microwave, I have a kettle. I've got some more art on the wall. This is also from the Henro, because every Henro or every temple in Japan, they have their own special Goshuin stamp, which is just like a seal from their temple. And for the Henro, you can also get a scroll made of every temple seal. So I got that as well on the journey. So that was pretty cool. So I really like this piece of art as well. I really recommend, if you ever do any of these Henro pilgrimage, make sure you get like a Goshuin or the scroll. You know, do something, because it is a really nice kind of memorabilia of the journey. So that is pretty cool. Now, moving into the main room I stay in. Oh, let me show you. This is also my wardrobe as well. So here are all my clothes. To be honest, this wardrobe's pretty more spaceful, because this is actually a wardrobe apartment. I found it had like loads of storage space, but it actually didn't really have a wardrobe. And obviously some past apartment tenant made like a makeshift wardrobe in the apartment. So it was really, I felt like my old apartment, it was really a box. Like I was just living in a box. But let's move, which is my bedroom, where I do most things, where I go to sleep. So here is my bed with the mountain of pillows. Funny story, I was actually meant to order 2, but I accidentally ordered 4. So now I just have 4 pillows, because I just ordered too many. I don't know what to do with the other ones. But I really like the artwork in this apartment. I think for me, the nicest thing apartment is just the walls. I can actually hang artwork again, because my other apartment, I didn't really have any walls, was the problem, because one wall was like the balcony window, then that's where my bed was, and then like where I had my desk. Like it was the layout of that room was just not the best, and especially it had this brown line throughout the apartment, and it was hard to try and put anything up. So eventually I just gave up. So I'm very happy I can put like artwork up, and it's all just stuff I've collected through my time in Japan. And yeah, I'm trying to keep it all stuff I've found and have collected in Japan, because I like the journey. And then this is the art I currently have up at the moment, but I change this at least once a week. I change the design pretty often. I have a little TV. Here's all my trinkets and my books and stuff. And then this is my table where I make my videos. I study Japanese. I just work a lot on the floor. Eventually I want to get like a floor chair for Japan, because you just work a lot on the floor. So I just want to get a floor chair, just help with my back, because at the moment if I'm studying, I just lean on my bed just to give my back some more support. And here's all my little trinkets from what I've collected over the time as well. This is a mixture of like shops and going to the temples, and they give you these little fortune characters, which is pretty cool. And then also over here, here's my little balcony. I've also just got some clothes drying at the moment, but sometimes I kind of lean out here, have a coffee, the world go by. My aircon as well. What was really annoying when I first moved in, this broke, so my landlord had to get it fixed. But this is like the worst time for aircons to break, because it's currently summer and it is super hot. So it's not the nice time for the aircon to break when peak summer has hit for Japan. But yeah, this is my apartment. Very quick forward, very simple. Not much to say. Apartment is an apartment. My bed is very nice. I will say I do like with this apartment is a lot of the furniture came provided, so I didn't have to buy it, which I think, trust me, for someone who you don't know where you're going to be long term, not having to buy the furniture is such a nice thing, because in Ehime, I bought all the furniture there, and trying to dispose of it was so hard. It was such a headache. So I'm very happy when it is the time to move from this apartment. I don't have to worry about getting rid of the furniture. It just stays here. I just have to pack up my things and go. So I'm very happy about that. But I'll show you what, because there's a couple of furniture items I did buy. So I'm going to tell you what is the like apartment stuff. The washing machine is the apartment, the fridge, the microwave's the apartment, also the cooker is. I bought the kettle, and then over here, the bed, the table, the stand, the TV, the nightstand's mine, and this white little shelf is mine. So I only bought 2 things for the apartment, or 3 things if you count the kettle as well. So to be honest, I'm quite happy to have this stuff provided because it was very, very, like, it saves a lot of time. Oh yeah, and the aircon is also the apartments as well. So I'm very happy with that, because I will say, if you ever are thinking of moving to Japan, be careful on those things as well, especially the aircon, because there's sometimes you could move into an apartment and the apartment doesn't even have an aircon, and then you have to pay for that, and an aircon is pretty expensive. So make sure, if you are ever thinking of moving to Japan, to try and get a place that definitely provides some of the furniture. I think it's definitely worth it in the long run. Trying to buy stuff is very hard work, I think, in Japan. So I'm very happy this stuff came provided. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are asking, how much do I pay? I actually think I pay for what I get and where I am and all the convenience. I think I'm paying a pretty good price. So I'm paying 70,000 yen per month with this apartment, which I think is pretty good for being in Yokohama. To get into Tokyo is very quick. The access is just amazing here compared to Ehime. Having the furniture provided, and I also forgot to add, my apartment also includes Wi-Fi, so I don't even need to pay for Wi-Fi. So I'm pretty happy for what I'm paying, for what I get and what I got. And one thing that has actually really surprised me is so my old apartment, the company did subsidize it for me. I did get a bit of a discount for what I was paying, but the actual price of the apartment in Ehime, if the company was not helping me, was actually more expensive than this apartment, which I think is absolutely insane, because I have so much more access. I had furniture provided, I got Wi-Fi provided, and this is hypothetically cheaper than the one in the middle of nowhere. So I found that really interesting. Same thing with the bills. The bills here are actually cheaper as well. Like, I'm only paying like 2,000 yen a month so far, where in Ehime, I was easily paying like 10,000 yen per month on all these different types of bills. So that's really interesting to notice as well, because I was really prepped for the bills to be the same. So yeah, super interesting to see these small details. And like, yeah, I wouldn't go back to the countryside. I just think there's so many more hidden little expenses that you don't realize, where I kind of just, like, the access is here. I got so much more things provided. Yeah, so it's really, really interesting. It's just something I just noticed, because I was not expecting the bills to be cheaper. If anything, I thought the bills here were going to be more expensive. But my only kind of thought maybe why is because this is mainland, where so everything's on the main grids and all connected. Where Shikoku, you're off the grid, so maybe you have to pay more for being like off grid and stuff. So super interesting small details, but I am very happy I've made the move. I think just having the access and to be able to do more things is just amazing. I will class, Ehime was the place where it all started, but it's not a place I think you could stay there long term. Or if you are going to live in Shikoku, my advice is always like live in the top part of Shikoku, just because there's more access. Like, for me, access is the biggest thing. But yeah, this is my apartment. I hope you enjoyed the tour. If you did, let me know your thoughts and opinions of it all. And yeah, I'm happy for how it's turned out. I feel like this one actually feels more like a home, where I felt like my Ehime apartment, it didn't really feel like a home. It's just somewhere I was living. So this one feels a lot more homely. And I also knows, so more light coming through. So I think that's like another thing I've noticed. Like, here, it just feels, I feel more like happier and positive. And I think it's just because I can get more light to come into my apartment. I have more windows, where in my old apartment, I only had the one, like this, I just had this kind of balcony door. The 4 sides was really just a wall. So it's a lot more darker. And there is kind of psychological evidence, the more sunlight you can get into your apartment, the more like positive it can be to yourself. But yeah, this is my apartment. Let me know your thoughts and opinions of it all, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Like, subscribe, do all those things, stick around, because I'm going to be posting a lot more in Yokohama. So I'll see you next time.